Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm scrapbooking this photograph of my husband in his mask. I'm also going to be using the Vicki Boutin Storyteller collection. Now last time I used this, I did not use any embellishments except for some embroidery thread. But I think I'm going to bring in embellishments this time, so let's see what I can do. Okay, so I did go into my stash and I found a piece of coordinating cardstock. It is a blue cardstock. It kind of reminds me of a sweater because it has flecks in it. It's from Recollections. And then I also have that burlap border. I trimmed down this background sheet from Vicki Boutin, just a ½ inch on either side so I could get that nice blue border around the edge. Now I also cut out that 4x6 card. It's that kind of says event, date, and location. I figured it would give me a great spot for journaling. So this is the cloud stencil from Scrapping Reflections, and I am not really doing this in a great way. I don't tape it down. It shifts a little bit. I'm not adding any ink to my blender brush. It's just the ink that is already on there. And then you do get a slight pattern on top of what is already on there. So it's not meant to be like a whole heck of a lot of mixed media. It's just meant to give it a little bit of oomph. Just a subtle little extra bit of color. Now the dancing figures are out and I'm trying to kind of figure out what I want to do. I'm like, I need to matte my photo and I'm just not exactly sure what to matte it with. So I pull out a cardstock that I thought would coordinate, but sure enough it does not. It was not a good match whatsoever. It wasn't even a coordinating shade. So I decided to go with some khaki cardstock. And I am using my older Creative Memories trimmer. And the only reason why I'm using it, you guys, is because my regular guillotine trimmer is kind of buried underneath of scrapbooking supplies. So I've said it before, but I basically clean my room every 2 weeks. I'm off every other weekend. So the room really only gets clean, like really cleaned every other weekend. And it's a travesty right now. Not gonna lie, it is a travesty. But yeah, so that's why I'm using this trimmer, because the other trimmer is buried. And there you go, there is my laziness. Now I did take out some of that fun foam right there, just so I could overlap my two big elements here. So I am going to bring in a doily because I want a little bit of something right there. And then at the end, you'll see I end up covering up most of the doily, but it does give me a bit of a circular element, which is something that I bring in to the layout. So it all works out in the end. Now, as you can tell, my husband is just absolutely thrilled to be wearing the mask. Now, my journaling talks about it. My husband and I send selfies to each other, and we sent mask selfies back to one another, and neither one of us were really pleased. Like, you can see our eyes are like, are you kidding me? And I have fuzz in my hair. Huh. Okay, there's like a piece of ripped khaki paper in my hair. How about that? Okay, so I am going to take this burlap piece and go ahead and put it here underneath of the two elements. And realistically, guys, most of this gets covered up, but I'm okay with that. I'm not upset that you don't see a whole bunch of it. Now, I was thinking about fussy cutting out some of that labels, but ultimately I decided not to go with that. I decided to make a couple more torn layers down here underneath of the photos, just to give it a good base, a good shelf for everything to rest on. Now, normally I don't really think about the colors that are in my photo, but he is wearing a big ol' neon vest, so I did pull in some neon-esque elements that you'll be able to see in a little bit. Now, I did talk about in the beginning how I was going to bring in embellishments. I actually didn't use any of the Storyteller embellishments. I have them. They're also in the Scrapbook Reflection shop, but I don't know what it is. I really just enjoy scrapbooking and mixing things. That's my favorite thing to do. Now I am going to make a homemade tag, so I just centered the tag, or centered the rectangle on my grid mat, went in 1/4 of an inch on either side, and trimmed it down. That gives you a perfect tag. And now I'm just trying to figure out what other tag I want in there. So I'm thinking I want 2 tags. So I have this one, and then I think about the khaki tag, but that's too much khaki on top of khaki. Like, I want there to be a difference between the photo mat and the embellishment that's going right here. The wood veneer worked, but I really wasn't feeling it. What I did like was this paper right here, so I went ahead and trimmed that down, and then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to mark 2 marks and then trim it to get my tag. Then that's going to go in there, and I like it. And there are no tag holes, but the tag holes areas will not be naked either. They're not going to have bows, which isn't what is my go-to, but I decided to go a little bit different. Now, when I was flipping through these papers, I saw this circle cut out that said "Silly Goose," and I just wanted that to be on this layout so badly, because his expression is just like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" And I just wanted that little sentiment on this layout. Like, I knew I had to have it. So I went ahead and punched that out with my Creative Memories circle punch. Now, I love the Creative Memories punches, you guys. I think that they are fantastic. They're old. You can't get them anymore. But, you know, sometimes I just, look, there's that fuzz in my hair. Or that paper, rather. I really just want circle punches that are a little bit easier when I'm trying to punch actual circles out with my circle punch. So what circle punches do you guys have? Do you have circle punches? Do you prefer circle dies? Like, what's the scoop? What's the deal? Trying to think about that. So I do pull out my florals, and I go ahead and I do that and pull these bad boys out. Now, I'm pretty sure this is the Jen Hadfield collection. I want to say maybe it's 2nd Avenue. I want to, fingers crossed, that's what it is. But I just wanted to show you that even if you buy the new papers that come out, you can use your embellishments and what you already have on hand, and you're still using new product. Because what I think happens is, a lot of the time, product comes out and we buy it and it sits, and product comes out and we buy it and it sits. So one of the things I like to do is combine my new and old stuff. And I thought, this time, why don't I just use the papers and then use my other things, and that makes me happy. The new and old stuff makes me happy together. It just does. So as you can see, I've pretty much covered up that doily. I did add that little half circle on top of my tags, and now I'm just going, see, now I'm kind of cheating, you guys. I'm going into my Kit for this month, and I'm pulling out things. So this chipboard is from Basic Gray, and it was in my Kit, and I was like, you know what? We're going to embrace this green. So I am putting these photo corners down, and then I'm going to bring in a little chipboard circle. And then, since I've already brought in circles onto the layout, I decide that I should go ahead and make more circles. So I just need to peel the sticky back off of these guys. Now I do have one photo corner left, and that's just because, you know, you can't see the fourth photo corner, so why would I put it on there? Now this is my solution for my tag holes. I'm going to put chipboard circles on top of there. So there are no naked tag holes because there are chipboard circles on there. So that's a little bit something different than I normally do because, you know, I normally tie a bow and stick it in there because, you know, that's just the way I think. Tags have bows, tags have string. Like that's just the natural way my mind thinks. But this time, chipboard circles, and I like it. I did use the smaller chipboard circle on the smaller tag just because I was thinking about the size ratio. So here we go. I am thinking about adding in some stickers, and these are Vicki Boutin stickers. These are from her previous collection, which was Let's Wonder. Now that one is gorgeous, and this one is gorgeous as well. I just like her aesthetic. I enjoy it. It makes me happy. So now I am pulling out these label stickers, and I'm going to label them up. So I layered, boy, layer, label. Oh, it's all getting confused in my mouth. It makes sense in my head, but you know, my head, I always say my brain engages before my mouth catches up. So that's, you know, that's just the way life is. I am going to pull apart this blue label a little bit so that there is a decent amount of label on either side of the heart. And then I'm going to pull in a couple of these tiny word phrases. And I have recorded and snapshot. And then I also add in loving life and take note. So they're just kind of little words that I think worked for the story that I am telling here. I'm sitting here looking at the labels and the stickers. If there's anything I want to add, there is a sticker on there that says the solution, what is it? A plane ticket is the answer. And I so wanted to put that on there, but you know, it really doesn't have anything to do with plane tickets. So, you know, we didn't do that. Now I do grab these two stickers right here because look at that neon-esque heart, and we don't label them, we layer them and tuck them under there. So I've got this kind of embellishment going basically down the center of the page with a little teeny bit over here with this heart and the label. So now I add in those word phrase stickers, and now I'm thinking I need to add a little bit of something. So at first I like the way this is going. I like the little wood, basically they're wood enamel dots. But then I'm like, no, I actually don't like this. It's not the direction I want to go. So I'm looking at the layout and I'm like, wow, these are some really black centers of the flowers. Maybe I should add in some black. So I pull out my black enamel dots and sprinkle them about the page. And now I'm thinking in my head that I'm going to do the little doodly border with my black Muji pen. That is M-U-J-I, and you can get them on Amazon or the Muji store. There's a Muji store up a few towns up from us, which they're probably closed now because of, you know, everything shutting down again. Anyway, I pull out these pink fresh words. These aren't words, letters. They're pink fresh letters that you make words out of. So I spell out mask. I didn't have any more A's, so I just trimmed down a Q to make an A. And then I knew I had these circle thickers that I was going to add on. So I love how that D nestles right into that K right there. So we're just going to title it Mask Day. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my journaling. Now I was thinking about adding the date in the circles as well, but I really didn't want to. I wanted Mask Day to be a little bit different, even though it kind of went with the entire theme. And if I added the 2020, it was going to bring that same, you know, element into the layout again, and I really didn't want that. I wanted my title to be kind of a standout type thing, especially because I have a lot of words on the page. Even though the words are small, there are a lot of words on the page. And you know, sometimes I don't care what you think my title is because I decorate with words, but in this case, I want the title to stand out. In this case, I want you to look at my page and be like, yes, Mass Day is the title. I don't want you to be like, I can't tell which one's the title. And in this particular case, I want you to know. Okay, so I write my journaling. It just says the selfies we sent to each other took a bit of a turn. Now we only see half our faces. You can just see the joy of the mask on Christopher's face, can't you? Ha! Mask life is the new norm. And then over on the little label, I wrote, it's so crazy. So there it is, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for joining me. I will see you again real soon for another video.